guys, my name is Paula Cardenas and my partners are Lina, Carlos, Andrea and Valentina. Today we are going to talk about LGBTQ group and
So the first thing that we did actually was to film the video that you guys already saw. In that video, what we actually did was to ask a lot of people for what they think about a lot of aspects of the LGBTQ community, their acceptance in society, if they should or shouldn't be, I don't know, like accepted and have the same rights and all that stuff. Because we think that it's important that people can also give us their opinion in like every aspect of this.
okay, the homoparental adoption. Since November 4 of 2015, same-sex couple may adopt minors without their sexual orientation being a problem. The Colombian Constitutional Court, in response to a lawsuit, argued that the adoption by same-sex couple isn't a problem and is accepted. This is like defend the right to equality and the right of the children to being part of a family. And the judicial precedent is the homoparental couples have the same rights to a couple composed by a woman and a man. And the formal award was declared in a decision in a United sentence 617 of the 2014.
So I'm going to talk to you about the social acceptance. Sorry. So we all know that this is still a taboo for our country and in the world in general. So if actually it has improved a lot since like another ages and another times, it actually hasn't changed that much. It's just that people what they actually want now is just to ignore that and stop fighting it. Every day we can see and we can still be like part of a society that bully the homosexual persons, all the persons that are part of the LGBTQ community. Even the public forces that are supposed to keep giving security and to keep providing, I don't know, some kind of support to these people are the ones that hurt them the most. We can saw every day, in every moment, a different type of this. We have actually three different statements from 3 different years that talk about this. I'm going to talk to you about one specific, and it's about a homosexual couple that was in a bank, in a somewhere, okay, and they were like giving kisses and hugs and all that stuff. And one of the guards from the place came to them and said like, okay, you need to leave because you're making everything uncomfortable for the other persons that are here. So they put a suit against like that people and against that to the Constitutional Court because it's not fair that just because they are an homosexual couple they can show their affection and be a free couple in the society without like people having problem with them.
Okay, I will explain this figure. This figure is a statistic about homosexuality. Okay. This explains how has development over time in our country, Colombia. Okay. first we have so that in the year 1936, the relationships homosexuality it was considered a crime for the penal code. Okay, maybe maybe because the custom, the culture, or the talk. Okay, then for the year 1991, with the new constitution, development right about the the homosexuality and and gradual advance because the right of equality and the right development the right and the right free development of personality. Okay. Then in the year 1999, between to 2015, we was introduced in the legislation 80 projects about same-sex couples, but not prospered. Is not good for the community LGBTIQ. Okay. In the year 2015, the person transgender can you gender in the document identity. Well, then 2016 year in Colombia is legal the marriage in the people same-sex couples. On the other hand, in the world, the marriage between person same-sex is legal in Canada 25 year. In Argentina, the year 2010, and Brazil, Uruguay, 2013, in United States 2015, in Colombia 2016.
Okay, this is a jurisprudential line about the marriage of the homosexual couples. So this is the sentence most important about the marriage of homosexual couples. Because this sentence unifies a lot of sentences about this topic. So the first sentence was in 1996. So this was a demand about the inconstitutionality of the articles 1 and 2 of the law 54 of 1990, because the definition of facto marital union didn't include two couples of the same sex. So who presented the demand said that it was a
that was a violation of some articles of our constitution, like 113, 16, among others. So the court said that in this definition of this law, they only refers to heterosexual couples and therefore exclude the homosexual couples, but isn't a restriction for practice their sexual orientation. The next sentences is on 207. This in this sentence, the court decide recognized patrimonial rights and the right to form a patrimonial union in the couples of the same sex. In 211, the court decide that they can limit the rights of the homosexual couples. So, because they have a relation like a heterosexual couple, so they have the opportunity to form a family. And on the 2016, the court decided that the principle of human dignity, equality, and freedom imply that every human being can contract a civil marriage.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the progress of social security in the case of the homosexual people in Colombia. Okay, first, what is social security? Social security is referred to social well-being and is related to social protection that is composed that pension, private health, and of course the protect of disabilities. There we can see the legal basis. We have two types, constitutional norms. In constitutional norms, we can find the Article 13 that is about the equality, is understanding, like there is understanding like real and effective. And the Article 48 is about social security and defines that is mandatory and a fundamental right. In the constitutional block, we can find the Article 93 is about the international treaty, and this is related to the San Jose Convention that protects the dignity of all the people in the world. Okay, we can find the judgment in the large of the history about the social security in the case of the homosexual couples. First, in 1996, in the sentence C098, the Constitutional Court of Colombia denied the rights for the people, for the homosexual people. Then, in the sentence C075, in 2007, the court said that the community of property for give the community of property for homosexual. And in C1811, the court said that social security was for the permanent companion, but didn't include the homosexual couple. And finally, in the most important sentence in 2008, the court said in the sentence C 336 that the social security for permanent company and homosexual without it identify the sex of the couple. And in the sentence T, there is a tutela of the 2011, the before sentence make effects for the before sentence and the before cases that happen in Colombia.
So those are the references, and now we're going